Hey everyone, so I'm back with my second like Shiv's tricks videos. So it's just basically kind of shorter videos giving you some tips and tricks that I swear by and that works for me, and that kind of makes makeup in general and application and wearing of it easier. So this one is going to be about how to make your makeup last. This is one of the questions you get asked so much in as a makeup artist and on counter and in work and stuff like that. So I'm going to have a few pointers I'm going to run through with you. Just like I said, you can use one or all of them. First of all, this will probably be a little bit more suitable for people with more combination oily skins. Generally, rule of thumb is that the drier your skin, the less you have to worry about it coming off, because it's not like there's oils coming through breaking down your makeup. Obviously, if you live somewhere very, very hot, that can cause a lot of sweat, which can also cause your makeup to break away. So just keep that in mind. It's more so for people who live in very, very hot, humid areas, or people with very oily skin. It's not to say some people with dry skin can't have these problems, but generally it's more to do with the other one. So first of all, take care of your skin from the base level. When I mean that, I mean skincare. Make sure you're not for instance, over exfoliating, which can cause your skin to produce more sebum, which in turn, of course, is going to mix in with your foundation and cause your makeup to break down. Oil, of course, is going to be the worst culprit at breaking down your makeup. So beware of that. Make sure your skincare is, you have that down first of all before you even start worrying about your makeup. Now, second, once you have your skincare down, or your skincare routine down more so, you don't want to overload your face with skincare. I see women time again who they come in and they put on their serums, they put on their moisturizer after the serum, they put on their primer after that, there could be something else they put on before even going on to their foundation. So that's 3 or 4 layers of stuff on your skin before you even think about foundation. Now, first of all, your skin can only absorb a certain amount of product. It's just not going to be able to absorb that much product, so you're going to have all this product sitting on your skin, moving around. That's going to be not just a barrier between your skin and your foundation, but completely, your foundation is going to be sitting on top of all this rather than actually sitting onto your skin. So obviously this is going to move. I mean, it's just its nature. It's going to move throughout the day. If you have that much product onto your skin, don't use that much product. It's so unnecessary. Again, if you've very, very, very dry skin, you can get away with using a bit more product, I think, but otherwise don't use it. I would say only if you're very, very dry would I use, only if you were like dryish, or if you felt you really need it, would I use like a moisturizer as well as like a regular primer. I'm not talking about anti-shine primers now, I'm talking about regular primers, which are in themselves are moisturizing, but they would have more silicone in it and stuff like that to make the makeup last longer and have it go on smoother and stuff like that. So generally I would say is if you're quite oily, just skip the moisturizer. You have enough sebum in your skin. What I would do, spritz your face with water first, then go ahead and put on your primer, because that way you're getting moisture into your skin and the primer is locking it in, because that's what silicone does by nature. So when I'm talking about those kind of primers, I'm talking about something like the MAC, the Prep and Prime face, or like your L'Oreal Studio Secrets Resurfacing Primer. Any of these ones, these will help lock in that moisture if you just use some kind of spray like that. So don't overload your skin. Now, if you are quite oily, you can use a light fluid, obviously. Don't use anything too emollient, because emollients, again, they're just going to slip and slide and they're just going to break down makeup. So you don't really want anything too overly emollient underneath your foundation. So what I would say is use a fluid for daytime, and then use your thick heavy emollients for nighttime if you really want to drench your skin. That's no problem. I actually always go by that anyhow. So I would use my light fluid, but here's the trick: always leave at least 5 minutes if you can, between applying your moisturizer and then your primer or your foundation or whatever you want to apply after that. And then even if you do, so normally what I would say is go have your once you wake up in the morning, wash your face, pop on your moisturizer, then go have your breakfast, do all that, come back and do your makeup afterwards. So that way you've let it set in. But even though you've left 5-10 minutes, still blot off any excess. I mean, this will still make a big difference. Now this is going to be gross, just letting you know, but I used a Light Day fluid today. I'm not particularly overly oily. After a few hours I'll get a shiny T-zone, but after about 10-15 minutes of applying my fluid, I used a blotting paper and look at the amount of stuff that came off. And mind you, this was a water-based one as well, so there will be just greasiness that will still come off. And these kind of oil or blotting papers are excellent. Don't go for the ones that have powder on them, go for the powder free ones, and then you can use these throughout the day as well for blotting away any excess oils. Again, the trick with them is to use them before the oils have had a chance to mix in with the foundation, which can make it move and stuff like that. So you want to kind of use them regularly enough so that you're getting the oils before they mix in with your foundation. Then next would be apply your foundation. The foundations to use here would be your matte foundations, your long-lasting foundations, your silicone-based foundations, like something like your camouflage corrector foundations like Dermablend. This is designed to last against ridiculous humidity. It's fairly waterproof, especially if you use the powder that comes with it. So look out for those ones, great ones that are quite long lasting. Of course the MAC Pro Longwear, that's the whole point of it. That almost sets like a layer over your skin. So those long lasting ones are what you're looking out for. Silicone based foundations, again, like MAC's Studio Fix Fluid, so that's quite long lasting in itself. Also the matte foundations, of course, they're going to be more long lasting. If you want that dewy finish, what I would say is go for a matte, and you want your foundation to last, apply your foundation matte, but then apply highlight over it, rather than mixing your highlight or actually using a dewy finished foundation, because they just generally aren't made to last. So that's another thing to be wary of. Of course, powder your foundation unless you're very, very dry. I would use light powder. Now I know a lot of people are scared of using powders if they are slightly on the dry side, but there are powders out there that aren't drying. Now one thing I always swear by, and this is always one of my favourites, is my Mineralized Skin Finish Natural by MAC. This actually has oils in it, so it does help condition the skin while it's on, and of course it's mineral based, which is always good. Another one would be the the newer powder. I'll put an annotation to tell you what it is by MAC, again, that has powders in it. So look out for these new powders that are coming out that are actually conditioning for the skin, as well as they set the foundation. I'm not the biggest fan of black powders, in that they're okay if you use them literally just once or twice throughout the day, but they will cake up if you're very oily and you constantly reapply. So again, use your blotting papers rather than black powders. So these guys here, this is the MAC one, sorry it's really dirty on the outside, but these are so handy for absorbing oil. You use them just a few times throughout the day. As soon as you start seeing shine coming through again, the more oily you are, the more you probably have to use them. But this will just save that build up of powder product, which is just nasty and really does not look attractive and just makes you look lined and tired, and it does nothing for makeup throughout the day. One thing I forgot to mention as well are, when I was talking about primers, use your anti-shine or your mattifying primers as well before you apply your foundation if necessary. I swear by these. I always use them around the T-zone area. You don't have to use them everywhere, just around the T-zone or wherever you find yourself oily. So ones that I like using are like this one here, the Studio Secrets one by L'Oreal, and it's the anti-shine one there. This Under Makeup Base by Inglot. Again, they're usually these see-through ones. They're quite silicone heavy. The silicone will always usually be the first or the second ingredient in it, so like dimethicone or one of those ones that end in cone. Another good one would be like the MAC matte cream here. Again, they all look the same, so these are really handy. And then finally, one thing else you can do is use a setting spray. So something like this is the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. MAC's Fix Plus is not a setting spray as many people think it is. That just helps settle makeup into your skin. It doesn't make it last longer. But something like this, the Mist and Fix, is a setting spray. So there's a few other brands like Urban Decay and Ben Nye who also do setting sprays. Some of them have matte formulas, which are generally better for photography, stuff like that. This will leave a little bit of a sheen, but as long as you're not overly oily, it's usually fine. And I find all these things usually do help. You don't have to use all these tricks by any means, but these are just some of the tricks that I find really help with making your base last longer. I'm sure I've probably forgotten something in this video, so feel free to leave your comments below if you have anything else to add. And oh, if you're wondering about this makeup look, I kind of recorded a tutorial for it, but I'm not that bonkers. But I'll still give you the option as to whether you want to see it or not, because it is recorded and I could just easily edit it if you want. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope this was helpful. Thanks a million for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you really soon. Slán!